What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, and guess what? I have the OG of the off-road performance truck. What am I talking about? This truck right here. This is a Raptor specific shelter green 2025 F-150 Raptor with the 37-inch tires. But before we get into this full-size, full-on performance off-roader, let's talk about what's going on here. So you look at off-road trucks, the Raptor really changed the name of the game. Originally, you would find maybe a Tundra TRD Pro with a naturally aspirated V8 underneath the hood. But besides the suspension and some of the other goodies, it was a standard Tundra. This Raptor took the F-150 and made it a true Baja champion. Now, originally, the Raptor came with a V8, naturally aspirated, but it did have more power than your standard V8 in a F-150. And of course, before the Raptor, we did have the OG of street performance trucks, the Ford F-150 Lightning. And no, I'm not talking about the EV Lightning. No, that's not really the Lightning. I'm talking about that SVT injected Ford Lightning. That's really where we see a lot of that performance come into street style. But what I want to find out is, this Raptor does not have a V8, but is that necessarily a bad thing? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if this is still the supreme off-road truck, and do you really need to spend all the money to get a Raptor R? Is it worth it? Let's find out. Right off the bat, I just love the overall dimensions, the proportions. This is one of the toughest looking trucks to ever roll out of any factory, including the Ford F-150 factory. You'll notice that front, like I said, shelter green is only available on the Raptor. Love the extra wide, not only fender flares, but extra wide fender. I mean, look at how much space has been added to house those ginormous wheels and tires. Of course, we got the flat black on the fender flares. Love the LED lighting. And then, of course, we have that sort of almost C-shaped in a way LED daytime running lamp, turn signal, and LED headlights. Working our way down, you have LED fog lights, and they are Rigid Industries, so there's that performance lighting brand that is used on race trucks and off-road vehicles. Here on this F-150 Raptor, you do have a stamped steel front bumper. Love the way they sculpt everything to give you the perfect amount of approach angle and also wheel travel. But let me know what you think about, so far, the look of this truck, especially when you're comparing it to some of the other pretenders out there. Now, as we come across the front grille, you do have that signature, what's now known as Raptor lighting, even though it's not officially called that. These are the DOT required auxiliary lights that are needed because of the extra width of this F-150 Raptor. You got flat black with the gunmetal flat gray on the Ford name spelled out, forward-facing camera with a washer. And then working our way down, I like the way they painted this center perimeter area of the lower grille in this nice metallic silver. You can see the functionality because you have those heat exchangers in that massive opening. And then look at the tow recovery hooks. You'll be able to pull lesser trucks out of the muck very easily with this thing. You have your skid plate protection, 2-speed transfer case, locking diffs, all those goodies with that Supreme Machine 4x4 system. With the 37-inch tires, this has a little over 13 inches of ground clearance. Absolutely mind-blowing. But let me know what you think about the face of this standard EcoBoost Raptor. Like I said, from a look standpoint, very similar between this and the Raptor R. There's certain cues that the Raptor R has, but still, going down the road, I'd be very proud to be behind the wheel of this thing. Now, as we rise up, you got that massive bulge, functional heat extractor. We do have the optional Raptor graphics. You don't have to get this if you don't like them. Love the way they do the Raptor badge on the side. And then coming around the bend, we do have the optional wheels. And like I said, those 37-inch tires. So digging this rotary phone dial style wheel with the gunmetal gray bead lock all the way around. 37-inch, look how massive these things are. That's a 17-inch wheel. And what's great about it is that they use the same exact tires, those BF Goodrich KO3 tires that they run on the Baja trucks, the Ford Baja Raptors. They use the same trucks. KO2, really, really digging. I love this style wheel, but this is an optional wheel. And obviously the 37-inch tire is optional. Now, if you get a Raptor R, it automatically comes with 37-inch wheels. Excuse me, 37-inch wheels, 37-inch tires. So just something to be aware of. That's why there's a little extra cost. As we swing in, you're gonna get, no matter if you get Raptor R or standard Raptor, you're getting that Fox live valve technology that's going to adjust the compression and rebound of all four corners within nanoseconds. So you're gonna get perfect wheel travel, and you're gonna feel totally in control of this truck at any speed while going off-road. Coming down the side, I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing around, show off those fender vents, functional fender vents. You do have shelter green with our 360-degree cameras, LED turn signals. These are power folding mirrors. Raptor-specific running boards, nicely powder coated. And from the side, you can clearly see this is a full-size truck. I mean, there's no denying that. Now coming towards the rear, how the Raptor graphics spill onto the bed. And then you could really see, look at this. Oh my God, it looks like a freaking Baja race truck suspension. Absolutely stupendous what's going on there at the back end of this truck. Spinning around back, same as before. You got your full LED lighting. Love the way they have the Ford name spelled out, the Raptor name. And then, of course, you're gonna get that nicely done rear bumper with your massive tow recovery hooks. Digging how they do a flat black on that dual outlet exhaust. And that is an active valve exhaust, so you can make it louder, make it quieter. And then you get a full-size spare, full-size 37-inch tire tucked up as high as it could go to give you as much ground clearance as possible. And then you get the rest of the goodies. Nice soft release. You have your built-in step system. I prefer this over the multi-flex tailgate. It's real simple. 1, 2, 3, ready to rock and roll. You got your rulers in the back so you can measure whatever it is you want to measure. I mean, I guess if you're using this as a work truck, that would be interesting. Pull up to a work site in this bad boy. And then I like the way they have your dry Twinkie storage. Put your off-road Twinkies in there. LED bed lights. And then this one is equipped with the onboard generator. So you're good to go with that as well. But really a truck that separates everything that you know about a truck and separates itself from the competition. So why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if this EcoBoost is worth it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Love the very tasteful engine cover with the Raptor badge, the Ford Performance badge, and it almost mimics the way the hood bulge looks, which is kind of cool. But what do we have? It's that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. It's been around for a few years now, and I think because of the Raptor R, people have fully appreciated this power plant. 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in a respectable 4.9 seconds. Top speed is governed to 120 miles per hour. MPGs, 14 in the city, 18 on the highway. Payload capacity is 1,400 pounds. You could tow up to 8,200 pounds. And the truck weighs 5,947 pounds. It's got 410 gears out back. And like I said, it's got that onboard generator. It's a 2 kilowatt onboard generator, which is nice to see. But why don't we go ahead? It may not have the Raptor V8, the Raptor R V8, which remember that does produce 720 horsepower, quite a bit extra horsepower, but that's the big question. Is it worth the quite a bit extra price? Why don't we fire up what we have and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Raptor F-150 style with the 37-inch tires, the B-Lock off-road wheels, the shelter green. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I deserve this truck. I put up with my kids' BS all day long. I'm still trying to get my oldest one to move out. He's 31 and he won't leave. He wants to play video games and trade Pokemon cards all day. I don't know what's wrong with that kid, but I want this truck. How much is it? Very good question. MSRP for this particular one is right at $95,000. I think if you can get that 31-year-old kid off of his rear end and get him working, you could swing this real easily. But let's see what the Raptor brings to the door panels. Love the style. You have that nice soft touch material, the code orange stitching, real deal carbon fiber. That's not the fake stuff that they put in lesser vehicles. Soft touch on the armrest. You do have your Twinkie holder there in the center, off-road Twinkies, 8 of them, B&O sound system, and then a door pocket where you could put a freaking turkey Thanksgiving Day dinner in there. You got room for the cranberry sauce, you got room for the stuffing, the rolls, everything, and of course, a couple turkey legs. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the soft touch, the carbon fiber, open this up. This is where you'll be able to keep your leftover cash because you didn't get a Raptor R. So think about it. This truck is 95 grand. A Raptor R is 120 grand. Crazy. 12 volt home power source. It's all about easy access. Slide on in, you got that nice large infotainment system. I love how cleanly it's integrated into the dash. Really just makes sense with that over 12.3 inch system. Let me throw it into reverse. Clear as day. You got your 360, you got your trajectory lines. What else do you need? Pro Trailer Assist. Now you can put the boat in the water and you're not gonna look like a clown in front of everybody. You have your drive modes, your 4x4 system, dual climate control, which is nice. See how it says dual? Dual climate control. Fan adjustment, ventilated seats, heated seats. Look how nice that is. Real buttons and knobs, more carbon fiber, open sesame, wireless charging, USB-C, USB-A, 2 cup holders. What's funny is this one only has a standard 4 key fob. I don't know where my Raptor key fob is. It better be around here somewhere. Nice buttons. You do have your leather with the stitching. Really nice. And then of course this will drop down because then you could do this. This is perfect for Steven because Steven likes to paint and color. And when he's sitting in the vehicle waiting for his next client to show up, when he's doing his photography, he could paint and color his pictures that he draws. Open it up. Wait until you see this. This is going to blow your mind. Boom. Steven loves how much room there is in here. He could easily fit, I would say, 4 of his DSLR cameras. There's 2 USB-Cs, and you could probably put a couple smaller size lenses in there. This is for Steven's favorite. He loves roasted peanuts, lightly salted. He'd fill that up. And yes, don't feel bad. Steven loves it when I point him out on videos. It makes him feel good. It makes him feel loved. And then the seats. that leather. I love the way they do that Raptor emboss, that nice Alcantara. Full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. You asked for it, they gave it to you. Panoramic sunroof. Who said you can't put a panoramic sunroof on a Raptor? You're a liar. And then you have your auxiliary switches. You could hook up missiles, rockets, machine guns, oil slick, all sorts of stuff. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this Raptor. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. I like the way you have 3 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. More of that carbon fiber. Look, it just got clean, watch. Squeak, squeak, squeak. That's how you know we just cleaned it. Down below, you got Ford Performance. But what's sad is no aluminum pedals. What's going on here? And look at this dead pedal. Who came up with that idea? I want to run over them with the Raptor. That's a sad dead pedal. I do like the way they got the easy access controls, lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall. Unless you're Shaq, you should be just fine in here. Steering wheel, this is what it's all about. Look how beefy this thing is. Ready to rock and roll. The orange stitching, the Raptor name. I even like the way they put the blacked out blue oval. Technically, it's supposed to be the blue oval. It's blacked out. Flat black on the switchgear. You got massive paddles to go up and down that 10-speed automatic. And then you got that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. And, of course, what do we got going on? You got your different modes. Going to your different modes. Look at that. More modes than I've ever seen on, ooh, what is that? Goldfinger? That's pretty cool. I like that. I like all the graphics and stuff. I'm gonna hang out in sport. That seems to be the smartest thing to do. We got a head-up display. Look at that tachometer. The 4x4 stuff hooked up. The pedals are just, they're like surfboards, man. Surfing USA. And it is a power tilting and telescoping wheel. But why don't we get in the back seat? Because I want to take you for a spin in this Raptor. All right, guys, back seat time. And if you thought there was room up front, you're definitely getting lots of room back here as well. It's going to be nice because you could basically have like a chum bucket back here. Now, what I mean by that is that you could have people puke in the bucket and while they're getting sick while you're off-roading, and then you could go fishing for sharks and you could throw the chum in the water, stir it up, and get the sharks to come out. That'd be pretty cool when they're thrown up in a bucket. But we do have nice large pockets. You could keep a small stack of paper towels or napkins so somebody could wipe their face after they're done puking. Maybe some little tiny sprayers of Banaka. I remember that back in like middle school and high school. Banaka spray was really big, and you just spray it in your mouth. It was supposed to make it smell, your breath smell good. Didn't do anything else for you. It wasn't like to protect your teeth or anything like that. But people used to like, I remember I saw a kid at lunch once like sprayed it like 40 times in his mouth just to see what would happen. But it's interesting because back then we just did it to do it. He wasn't doing it to put it on social media because social media doesn't exist back then. We do have a nice command center, 2 cup holders. You do have a 12 volt, 2 stages of heated seats. Would have been nice to have some ventilated seats back here. Home power source, 2 USB-Cs. You're sitting pretty. You really are. Carbon fiber. Pull this bad boy down, just enough room for your arm. Power sliding rear window. This lifts up. Look at all the storage. See, what Steven would do is he would fold this up and then he could put his drums back here. Steven is a big drummer. That's why I call him the drummer boy. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Raptor on throttle. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We're inside this F-150 Raptor. And right away, I love being behind the wheel of this truck. Now, yes, it doesn't have a supercharged V8 underneath the hood, but with all things being said, this is still one heck of a performance truck. Like I said, the EcoBoost in this truck has been around for a while now. And no, they haven't added extra horsepower. They did, though, change the exhaust. And the exhaust sounds so much better, especially the active exhaust. And right now I have it in Baja mode, which gives it the loudest of the settings. 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, fantastic with that tack right in the center. And then the head-up display nicely stretched across the hood. All of the touches in here are super nice quality, especially the carbon fiber. Seats are fantastic. And, I mean, it's a Raptor. That's the bottom line. You are in a Ford Raptor. Now, the other thing is that you are going to have quite a bit of control when it comes to the suspension system. So with the suspension setup and how everything is regulated with that Fox Livewire technology, you are going to have it be perfectly set up for you. No matter if you're off-roading or if you are on-road. So they got you covered both ways. Leaving the light, you got smooth shifts from the 10-speed automatic. And it's just a truck that you could daily drive, believe it or not, with no problem. It's that easy of a truck to drive. Love the fact that you get great visibility. Sitting up higher because of the 37-inch tires. And then being able to take this truck anywhere you want to go. I mean, it is one of those trucks that you would think would be a bear on the road, but it's not. It's actually quite comfortable to drive. But we're gonna go on throttle and let you see the acceleration of this truck. 450 horsepower, nothing to laugh at. Let's go, you ready? On throttle, here we go. Love the sound that they have now coming out of the back of this thing. So much better than before. And you have those great shifts from the 10-speed automatic. The way that they tune the suspension, it's every nanosecond. I mean, that's what's happening every single nanosecond in this truck. Handling is great. We're gonna go on throttle again. We're gonna do this from a dead stop this time. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. So you have nice sound from that twin turbo V6, but you're also getting smooth shifts, very precise shifts, because depending on the mode that you're in is going to adjust how the steering sensitivity is and how the throttle sensitivity is, but also how the 10-speed and the twin turbo V6 are going to communicate with one another. But the handling is actually quite good in this truck. Another thing to remember is comparing this to the Raptor R, you have less weight off the nose of the truck, which when you're off-roading, you're really gonna appreciate that part. Do you need a Raptor R? I don't think anybody needs a Raptor R. Well, maybe. But I think when you want the Raptor R, you gotta look at the price point. You really do. And to think that this is over $20,000 less expensive than a Raptor R is kind of telling. You are getting more road noise, of course, because you have those off-road spec tires. Little bit of extra wind noise as well, but still a great place to be sitting. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic behind the wheel. I love the wheel itself, nice and beefy. The dash is so straightforward, and you could change it many different ways, so that's great. And then you can make your adjustments with your exhaust, with the steering feel, suspension, everything all at your fingertips, or I should say your thumb tip. But let's go on throttle again. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Plenty of get up and go behind the wheel of this truck. Yes, the Raptor R is faster. It's over a second faster, but like I said, there's that extra cost as well. I really love being behind the wheel of these trucks, whether it's got the V8 or not, because it's just a well-engineered, well-designed truck that has been put through the process to make the truck what it is. And with the extra sound from the exhaust, it kind of helps bridge that point between this and the V8, the supercharged V8. I'm just glad they continue to make this, because I think it's smart to have both trucks. Because not everybody can afford a Raptor R, or wants or needs a Raptor R. This gets everything done just so nicely. But the ride quality is really nice, man. That suspension, that live valve technology from Fox. Boy, oh boy. I mean, look at this. Even under braking, you're not getting a bunch of nosedive. And you're not getting a bunch of body roll, which is great. All right, nobody's behind us. One more time, you ready? On throttle, here we go. Little bit of spin from the back as I have it in two-wheel drive. And we are off to the races. But this truck is just, it's incredible how they raise the bar with the Raptor just overall compared to all the other performance trucks. But we're gonna go ahead. I hope that this has been a good review of this 2025 Shelter Green Raptor. We're gonna get back to Walker Ford and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. Guys, always a good day anytime you could get behind the wheel of a Raptor, especially this Shelter Green F-150 Raptor. Definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Western Walker, and Tracy getting us access to this bad boy. Let me know what you think. This one is optioned to the hilt pretty good, but still a far cry from the price of a Raptor R. Do you spend the extra money to go Raptor R, or would you be happy with this one? Let me know in that comment section. If you're new to the channel though, and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rise family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. He loves going to pumpkin patches. He loves going to petting zoos. Who would have ever thunk it? Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.